I feel like I shouldn't even have to make this disclaimer because I'd hope that if you don't believe in this stuff, you'd be smart enough not to click on this video, but the internet is a ruthless place where people love to attack people with differing views. So, this video deals with the paranormal and the fact that I personally believe in ghosts, spirits, and the paranormal and all of that. So if you don't, congrats, but feel free to click away from this video because it will literally add nothing to your life. Okay, let's get into it. In honor of All Hallows Eve, I thought I'd share my family's spooky paranormal experience from my haunted childhood home. But if you're looking for a scary, edge-of-your-seats horror story, this isn't it. But I feel like that's more realistic. I feel like most people don't experience the really intense stuff. They experience the things that my family experienced, like little spooky things. So my family moved into my childhood home when I was a baby, and we moved when I was around 9. The stories I'm about to tell happened when I was around a toddler, and I personally don't remember these, but for as long as I could remember, my parents have been telling me these stories. So when you walk into my house, you see right in front of you a really long hallway. So to the right was the front room, to the left was the guest room, and if you walk a little bit, then to the right it opens up into the great room, and then you walk a little bit, and to the left was my sister and my room. Keep walking, and at the end of the hallway was the den that my parents used as their room. I hope that all makes sense. I'm planning on putting like some sort of visual helper to help you out, but basically long hallway, one end is the front door and the other end is my parents' bedroom. Whew. So just really quickly as smaller things, my parents when we first moved in would notice little things like things would move, or I don't know, just like unexplainable things like you would put soda in the fridge, vertical, standing upright. No one would touch it, no one would go around it, and then you'd open it up and they would all be turned on their side. So just things like that, little spooky things. So one night my parents were in their bedroom and their bed's headboard was up against the same wall as the door. So like if this is the wall, their bed would be up against it like this as their headboard, and then the door would open like that. I feel like there's a lot of visuals and I'm not good at graphic design, so like I can't put it, I'll try my best. So our house was built in the 1950s and their door was a little wonky, and basically they never closed it because to close it, it took just extra effort. Like you had to turn the knob all the way and push it into the frame, so usually they just left it kind of sitting on the frame. Like their door would be closed but it wouldn't be pushed into the frame, it would just kind of be resting, since it kind of, you had to use a bit of force to push it in. So my mom was facing my dad, and so the door was in her line of vision, so she was just talking to my dad, and then she saw the doorknob turn, like she saw the doorknob turn and get pushed in. And in my parents' mind, it was such a physical action that they actually thought it was either me or my sister, so they got up and went into our room and we were fast asleep. So yeah, so that happened. So the next story also was very similar. They were in their room, it was nighttime, and they were trying to fall asleep, and they started hearing this tapping, and it wasn't just like, I don't know what would be normal tapping, but just like, it wasn't like quiet, like little tapping that could maybe be explained by something else, but it was very like assertive, rhythmic tapping coming from down the hall. It was tap, tap, tap. And again, my parents thought it was either me or my sister, so they got up. Me and my sister and I. My sister or me? I know people are gonna correct me if I'm wrong, but either one of us. They thought it was one of us. So they got up and they checked, and again, we were asleep. So my parents being my parents, they aren't really freaked out by this stuff, so they just went to bed. But the next morning, my dad noticed that my sister's shoes were in the hallway, down the hallway, near where the noise was coming from. So he picked them up and started tapping them on the marble flooring. I don't know if I mentioned that it was a marble hallway. The hallway, the long hallway, all marble floors. So it echoes a lot if you have something that makes noise. But he tapped them on the marble and it was the exact same sound. So just unexplainable things like that. Besides those two small stories, nothing else really happened. It was just minor things, and actually eventually the activity stopped. Our theory is that whoever or whatever was trying to mess with us got bored because we didn't give in to their tricks, I guess, because my parents were just so chill about it. But growing up, it was just a part of the house. We used to call the guest room the ghost room because it was always colder than the rest of the house. And being a little kid, and like I just grew up with this stuff, I would sometimes go in there and try and communicate with the ghosts or spirits. And one time I actually invited them to a party we were throwing, so that's the little kid I was. I've tried looking up any deaths that may have happened on the property, but I haven't been able to find anything. And after we moved, the entities didn't follow us, so I always wonder if the new owners experienced anything, or I don't know if the entities or spirits just left when we were living there. But that's the story of my haunted childhood home. It's not the most exciting stories, but that's definitely where my fascination with the paranormal began. As always, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, and if you'd like to see more, please subscribe. And if you have any paranormal experiences, maybe ones even more interesting than my own, I would love to hear it in the comments, so let me know. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in another video, and happy Halloween! Bye guys!